Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free by going to their itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to their Patreon, where it costs $54 a year, which I think is like maybe $5 a month. And as per tradition, I forgot about that and just remembered it at the start of this video and was looking it up, because it do be like that sometimes. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we had a double date, which ended with us and our boyfriend wooing, having sex, and yeah, happy times. So yeah, now did we go do sex and then come to work? I guess so, because, you know, got stuff to do. So let's reset my face and begin. Arriving at Ty's, Russell was once again manning the counter, with Ty nowhere to be seen. I could only assume he was working in the kitchen like before. Putting my belongings underneath the counter and said hello to Russell. I put my belongings. There we go. Hey Adrian, what's wrong? Huh? What do you mean, what's wrong? You're walking kinda weird, dude. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. My fears had come true. I arrived at work, walking in a manner reminiscent of Logan, although not for the reasons I had anticipated. Logan. It's been a hot minute. Characters. Oh, reminiscent of... No, wait. That's Eric. Who's Logan? Oh, that guy. Okay. I'm glad that they have this here so I could be like... who is the person that they're referencing? It's been a hot minute. But yeah. You didn't, like, hurt yourself training with Diego, did you? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But I'm okay, just a little sore. I'll take your word for it, my dude. Has today been busy? Only just started myself. The only customer yet, man. Only one customer yet. Looking around the bar for this customer, I was surprised to see there was a familiar face. He noticed me and approached the counter, walking similarly to how I had been. Hey, Adrian. Oh, Logan, it's you. You seem to be walking a bit better today. Oh, right, that's why I was walking weird. About as well as you. I'm a little sore, but I'm okay. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing better. What brings you here? Is Diego working today? Nah, he has the time off during the tournament. He's back home training right now. I see. Well, I wanted to thank you both for yesterday. It was really nice of you to help me out. It was the least we could do, and I know Diego would say the same. I appreciate it. It was no trouble, really. Say, would you like to come and watch Diego in the semifinals? I'm sure he'd appreciate you coming to cheer him on. Wouldn't that be weird? Not at all. Russell over here was his first opponent, and he's coming to watch. That's right, man. It's totally cool, dude. No shame in supporting your friends. Friends. I'll think about it. What? Don't you want to be friends? No, you don't want to be friends? I don't know. I'm not very good in social situations. Well, the last thing we want is to put the pressure on you, but the invitation is there. Alright. Thank you for the offer. It's no trouble. Anyway, this is all I want to say. I'll see you around. Alright, Logan. See you next time. Later, dude. The guy has some interesting dress sense. Says you, Mr. Unbuttoned Tropical Shirts. That's like totally the trend, my dude. Yeah, if you fell into a time machine and woke up 40 years ago. It's coming back, man. Mark my words, my threads are totally gonna be the talk of the town. The sudden sound of the kitchen door behind us caught our attention. Ah, good afternoon, Adrian. How are you today? He hurt himself training with Diego. Oh dear, do you need some time off? What? No, I'm fine. Just a little sore is all. No big deal. Well, I'm glad to hear it. What exactly happened? He got a good few punches on me. That's all. I'm alright. You're walking funny because he punched you? Yes. We definitely don't need to keep talking about it. Huh. Well, anyway, if there's no trouble, would you mind if we had a quick chat in the kitchen? Oh, sure. Lead the way. We both arrived in the kitchen, where Ty led me to the far corner, would be out of earshot of Russell. He turned to me and began letting me in on what was going on. Sorry to pull you aside like this, but it's a private matter between us. It's no trouble. What's up? Well, how do I say this? This might be a bit of shock for you to hear. Do you remember the other night when I dropped you back home? Yeah? Remember how we saw something sitting by the side of the river not too far from your place? I do. Well, on my way back, they were still there. And, well, you know how I am. So stop. How why read makes me yawn. Like reading out loud. To make sure they were all okay. Where is this going? As it would turn out, that person was Kyrex. Huh. Okay. What'd you do? Turn straight around and leave? I thought about it, but no. You see, something was off about him. He seemed a touch upset, and like the nosy old fool I am, I elected to find out why. Who cares though? He's a dick. Perhaps. You have every right to feel that way. I thought the same way myself. He did not tell me a great deal at the time. He did not trust me, which is understandable, given my association with Diego. But what little he did say piqued my curiosity. Of course, the rain started back up, but not before I convinced him to give me his phone number. Why? Something he said, I suppose. It seemed as though his perspective of what have happened between Diego and him was quite different from Diego's. I suppose I wanted to find out more. So yesterday, after the fight, I convinced him to visit me here, and he spoke for a good while, asked him a lot of questions, and, in his credit, he answered them in a manner which seemed truthful. As a coincidence, I'm now of the belief that there's more to this whole situation than Diego has told us. Excuse me for saying so, but are you nuts? Diego wouldn't lie to us. Kyrex would, but Diego wouldn't. And not saying he did either, to be clear. Diego has not misled us. Everything he said is either fact or is as accurate to his perspective. But you see, this is just the issue. It would seem there is another side to that whole story. So, what is it then? I'm afraid I cannot tell you. At least, not yet. I gave Kyrex my word that the content of the conversations would remain between us. Rather, I wanted to let you in on my plan. Your plan? Plotting some shit again? Unfortunately, yes. Simply put, everything I learned from my conversations with Kyrex is that the two of them rarely ever spoke in a manner one would consider constructive. Kyrex in particular had a tendency to bottle things up. He did not know how to communicate with Diego, and truthfully, the blame for that lies on his shoulders. But he had a side in all of it too. From Diego's perspective, yes, Kyrex is horrible to him, but from Kyrex's, things were a bit more complicated than that. Crucially, there are some questions in all this too, some things that do not quite connect. I feel as though Kyrex told me more or less everything there is to tell. I think Diego holds the answers to those questions. I think that Kyrex has the answers to a lot of Diego's questions as well. As such, I think it would be best for us to try to facilitate some kind of conversation between the two, to ease the bad blood and to provide them both with some closure. And you're willing to help me with this, am I right? No, wait, was it you're willing or I'm willing? Yeah. And you're wanting me to help you with this, am I right? I can read most of the time. It would be in Diego's best interests, and I feel that your position would be advantageous in convincing him to participate. I was furious. Once again, Ty was trying to drag me into another of his schemes. Once again, I was privy to some secret I didn't want to keep. I was done being Ty's puppet. I wanted no part in all this. I wanted to tell Diego everything. No more secrets. Sorry, Ty, but I'm out. Do it yourself. Oh? Do you have any idea what kind of position you're putting me in here? Asking me to keep secrets from my boyfriend? Using me as some kind of puppet to manipulate him? One of the biggest fears right now is that he'll face Kyrex in the tournament, a secret you're having me keep, and now you want me to convince him to talk to Kyrex? No way. I'm done with this. Your meddling has gone far out of hand. I want absolutely no part of this. Look at his floopy ears. I am sorry. You're right. I only want to help. But even I know my methods are a little unorthodox. Unorthodox? That's an understatement. Would it hurt you to mind your business for once? To stay out of other people's lives? I know. And I feel terrible. Please, understand. Diego let me in on his side of things shortly before your arrival. I care for him, not only as a boss, but as a friend. But Diego is stubborn at the best of times. The only way I can help him is without him knowing until after the fact. Why drag me into it? Can't you see how much this sucks from my perspective? But look at all the good we've been able to do. Despite my methods, can you not see how this has all worked out for the best? Maybe it has, but don't get me wrong. I know this all comes from good place. I'm thankful for what you've done. We're thankful for what you've done. But the schemes have to stop. Diego's at the end of his wick. And so am I. I'm done keeping secrets from him. When I finish work tonight, I'm going straight home and coming clean with him about all this once and for all. I only hope that he can forgive me. Please, at least give me a few days. Diego's time in the tournament is almost over, and a few more days is all I need. And once all this is done, I promise, no more meddling. I will stay right out of it. No, I will not keep secrets from him a minute longer than I already have. Please, think about what is best for Diego. What's best for Diego is the truth. Yo, what's going on back here, dudes? Are you guys yelling about something? I apologize, Russell. It is a personal matter, but all is well. Well, okay then, I guess. Should I give you dudes some space? I think we're done anyway, right, Ty? Ty lets out a long, melancholy sigh. Indeed, my apologies. I'm sorry too. I blew up there a bit. I know you mean well, but I still meant what I said. I understand. With there being... Bugger, maybe I need more tea or another cup of coffee. With there being nothing left unsaid, I made my way back out into the bar to continue my work. Russell watched me as I walked by, before turning to Ty with a shrug, and following me back out. The atmosphere, though, throughout the remainder of our shift was awkward. Russell tried his best to lighten the mood, but there was clearly tension between Ty and me. Nonetheless, we all performed our duties, and before I knew it, my shift had ended. I departed with nary a word, bracing myself for the conversation I was about to have with Diego. Oh, I guess this is sad music because I'm going to tell him everything? Maybe. When I arrived, Diego was lazily relaxing on the couch, awaiting my return. Upon seeing me, he perked up immediately, and his tail wagging. It was adorable, and I felt bad for what was to come. Hey Adrian, how was work? It was, well, complicated. Huh? What happened? I sat down in a spot beside Diego, on the couch as me muted the show he was watching, anticipation of our discussion. Paint. I wasn't looking forward to this, so I wanted to get it over with as quickly as possible. I'll start with the good news, I guess. Logan came in today. He wanted me to pass on his thanks. He's walking better today. Oh, well, that's good. But then, what's the bad news? Well, Tide pulled me aside today, let me in on another secret he tried to involve me in, another of his schemes. Of course he did, and no doubt, the scheme involved me, am I right? You are, but I told him I was done with all that I don't need to keep secrets from you, even if it's supposed to help you. I want to be honest with you, always. I think that's what really is important in a relationship. I agree. So, what was he planning this time? Well, apparently he's been talking to Kyrex. Yo, what the fuck? The other night when he drove me home, we spotted some guy by the riverside on the way. When he was heading back home, he decided to stop and check in on them. It was Kyrex. Apparently, the two got talking. He wouldn't tell me what Kyrex said, but Ty somehow had in his head that you and Kyrex talking would be best thing for you both. Like, fuck you would be. After everything that asshole put me through, last thing I want is see his ugly face again. Man, that is angry face right there. Well, that's another thing. What's the other thing? Another secret Ty wanted me to keep. It's like I said, I'm done keeping secrets from you. I never want to do that again. I don't care what Ty says. What is it? He's in the tournament, Diego. And as far as I know, he hasn't lost yet. How long have you known? A few days. I found out on my own. Ty knew, even before I did. He urged me to keep it a secret. Told me to think of your progress and all that shit. It's like I said, I'm done with Ty's games. I told him to keep his nose out of our business. He promised he would, once all this is blown over. Nonetheless, I refuse to help him with any of it. Being honest with you is so much more important. I've hated being put in this position. Diego took a deep breath, composing himself before he responded. Thank you. You're not mad with me? You have every right to be. No, I'm not. I know what Ty's like. Playing his games is a slippery slope. Hell, I've been in your position before. Oh? There was this shareholder a good while back, causing us some grief. Ty tried to drag me into it. I did, for a bit, but like you, I stopped. I didn't feel comfortable with all the smoke and mirrors, you know? So, I'm a little upset about it all, but I can't blame you. I understand. And I know you only want to help me, but you've got to promise me you're done with that. More, okay? I promise. Diego opened his arms for a wide hug. I practically limped into his arms. It was unlike him to be so forgiving and understanding. I appreciate it more than he'd ever know. I couldn't help but shed a tear or two in his arms before he let me go, and returned to her previous positions on the couch. Fucking Ty, man. God damn it. Do you think he meant what he said? That he's done? I don't know. I ain't talking to Kyrex. That shit ain't happening. But it's unlike Ty to give up on something when he set his mind to it. I guess I'd better be on my guard. Just in case he tries something. Did he say anything else? Let me think. He seemed to think that communication was a big issue between you and Kyrex. Yeah? No shit. Kyrex wouldn't tell me a thing. Figured out what was going on in his head was like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. In Ty's credit, he primarily blamed that on Kyrex. It sounds like Kyrex told Ty all of that stuff. Stuff he should have told you. At least, that was the impression I'm getting. He's also said there were some gaps in the story, stuff he thought you hadn't said. Or maybe things you didn't realize without knowing what Kyrex was thinking. He seemed to think that if he could get you to agree to talk with Kyrex, and that if Kyrex is willing to be so candid, it would give you both some closure. What done is done, dude. Our relationship with him was the darkest part of my life. It's over. Things are a lot better now. I'm happier than I've been in a long-ass time. I'd rather just move on. Forget about it all. Focus on my new life with you, rather than digging up the past. I don't want any closure. Forgive me for being the devil's advocate here, but what if it's Kyrex who needs closure? Frankly, he doesn't fucking deserve it. Or what about if Kyrex wanted to apologize? I don't care to hear it. What about if he wins the semis? What then? It seemed as though Diego had briefly forgotten that detail. The prospect, no doubt, caused him great anxiety, which is why his response surprised me. Then may the best man win. You're still going to fight? I ain't stopping now. I've gone this far. If he's there in the finals, then whatever happens, happens. Are you sure? He ruined nearly a year of my life. No matter what happens, I won't let him ruin a single day more. I'm proud of you. There's nothing else, right? No more secrets? Nope. And you have my word that there won't be any more. Thanks, Adrian. I believe you. And I trust you. And I definitely don't blame you. I wouldn't mind if you did. Dude, you're like the light of my life. I can't stay mad at you, especially when you've chosen to do the right thing. I know how much pressure Ty can put on you when he wants something. Just keep me in the loop, okay? If you find out anything, please tell me. I promise. And I meant that promise wholeheartedly. There'd be no more secrets. I was glad to discover that Ty's expectation that Diego would forfeit the tournament wasn't true. Even the prospect of Kyrex's potentially being his final opponent, Diego stood firm. Diego had come such a long way in such a short time. He was resolute and refused to let anybody get in his way. Kyrex had better watch out. Diego was coming, and he wasn't going to take no shit. Not this time. Day 17. Or 17. I mean, that's a whole scene change. That's a whole thing right there, and a scene change in and of itself. I was kind of hoping it would be at the 25-minute mark, but it does seem we're dead short on that right now. Sad ooh-woo. Because that is definitely the thing where it's like, well, the next scene could be 3-5 minutes, or it could be, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I feel like we're just going to cut it here. Especially since my throat is so low. I don't know why that is. Well, I can guess why that is. But it do be like that sometimes. It's not the good woo way, it's the sad woo woo way. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please comment, guys, like, comment. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and likes to grow. And please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. Please remember to spend your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's $54 a year. Or wait, you can get it on itch.io for free, but if you want to get the most up-to-date version, then you can go to the Patreon where it's $54 a year, or I think it's, okay, let's do math actually. 54 divided by 12, 4.5, which might be $5 because you save up to $10 if you do it annually. Oh, what would be 100 divided by 90? And then multiply that by 54, and then divided by 12. Oh yeah, so it is $5 a month or 54 a year. Hey, you know. And did we ever save it? Yeah, we did. And dang, I really wanted to wake up in the morning, start this game so I could see what the early morning background looks like. Because it turns dark when you open this game at night, which is a very minor thing, but I like that. You know? I mean, I'd say out of all the games that I've ever played, you know, visual novels, this is probably the one I feel like has the most polish. Because it's, here's what's new here. Here's the game version. If a new game version comes out, it says, here you go. It's, when it talks about game versions, like, this is the game version you got. Here's the route you got. Here's the, no wait. Oh, here's your name. Here's the day. Here's the route you're going. And then, if I'm like, who the hell are these people? I can go here and it's like, bam, bam, people I haven't met yet. Something you don't tend to see in a lot of other games. And it do be like that sometimes too. Damn it! Well, I'm gonna have to censor that. I was like, well, I can get through this entire thing without having to censor anything, but now I'm gonna have to spend a good while minusing that one little bean right there. Anyways, until next time, let's play. Me, GamerWolfSix, Silent Tales, New Dawn. Thanks and see ya.